Turning the invisible into the visible so that you can see more of what you want in your reality. That is what we are doing today. Stick around. So just a couple of things before we get started. My name is Hedley for those of you who are new. I'm a qualified life coach, and this channel is dedicated to simplifying the law of assumption teachings and making them as practical as possible so that you can apply them to your reality and see results fast. I have a couple of offerings that can assist you to do that, including one-to-one law of assumption coaching, where we will look at a specific situation that you've got going and we'll re-script it according to these amazing principles. I also have a free 21-day Set Yourself Up with the Ultimate Self-Concept course and a paid version of that course, which is super in-depth. There's 29 lessons, 21 meditations to ensure that you really embed that new self-concept, because your self-concept is the most important story that you tell. And then of course there is my book, I Am Money, Assume a New Story and Enjoy More Money, where this book will help you turn your current money story into a love story so that you can enjoy much more of that yummy money. Okay, you'll find all of those details in the box below this video or at my website, youaretheone.com.au. So today we're talking about turning the invisible into the visible, which just means seeing more of what you want to see in reality. As many of you know, I love etymology, which is the study of language, because language is the signpost for awareness, and the language you're using is what is directing your awareness to states of consciousness, and whatever states of consciousness your awareness is dwelling in and embodying, that is what you will see reflected back in your reality, because your reality is nothing more than a reflection of what you are doing dominantly in consciousness or your imagination. So we are talking about making the invisible visible. But in order to do that, we have to understand what these words mean, and they're not what you think. When we talk about invisibility and visibility, we think in terms of what we can see in reality. If we can't see it in reality, then it's invisible, but that is not what invisible means. Invisible and visible both mean the same thing, which is visibility, but where they are visible differs. So what is visible in reality. What is invisible is still visible, but it is visible in imagination. That's why the word is invisible. The visibility is within, as opposed to visibility that is without. But we don't say out visibility. We say invisible and visible. One is a physical visibility, one is an imaginary visibility. And as you know, reality is the reflection of imagination. So what you are seeing in imagination, then you will see in reality. So if there's something in reality that you're not seeing, in order to see it, you have to turn to the source of the invisible, which is imagination. Doesn't mean it's not there, it just means it's not in reality. It's visible in imagination. So to turn the invisible into the visible, you must turn to the source of the invisible, which is imagination. Now, one of the things that I hear quite commonly is, I'm not very good at visualizing, or when I close my eyes, I can't see. Every single person on the face of this planet that has ever been, that is, and that ever will be, has inner vision, has inner visibility, because inner visibility is imagination, and everyone has imagination. Now, if you are not skilled at activating your senses in imagination and seeing with your imagination, then you will think that you can't see. But here's how you know you can see. All creation is finished. What does that mean? That means all potentials already exist. All outcomes to all situations and events and circumstances already exist. Every potential is available in imagination. To God, anything is possible. God is imagination, so in imagination, anything is possible. So all outcomes, all possibilities already exist, and they're just invisible, meaning they're in your imagination. They're visible within your awareness. We have become more aware of the visibility in reality as opposed to the visibility in imagination. But keep in mind, invisible and visible both mean the same thing. They just mean to see. Envisioning and visioning both mean to see according to the etymology. When we say envisioning, if we're envisioning something, en is just a word forming element that also means in. So it's envisioning and visioning. Envisioning and visioning both mean to see. We are seeing something in reality or we're seeing something in imagination. but we are always seeing something. So if you are just more used to seeing what's in reality, then you need to develop the skill of seeing in imagination. Now, if you're somebody who says, I'm not really good at visualizing, or I can't really see my visions when I go into my imagination, that is an assumption, because there is only visibility. It's just either visible or invisible, but there is only visibility. Everyone has visibility. Even if you don't have physical vision, you still have inner vision. You still have that inner visibility, because inner visibility is imagination, it's consciousness, it's awareness, and language is what directs your awareness to what you're seeing in imagination. Now, you're either doing it consciously or unconsciously. If you're allowing what you're seeing in reality to inform imagination, that means you're taking the images of reality and then you're remembering them, like you're playing out those memories in imagination. So you're only really seeing what's in reality. You're not creating anything new, and that's why you end up seeing the past repeat itself, because you're simply just aware of what you're seeing in reality. Now, if you're not revising unfavorable memories, then you're just seeing the same things. And if you're just seeing the same things and you're not envisioning something that's not in reality, then you are just repeating reality. You are history repeating itself. You have to become aware of what is invisible, so you can only see it in imagination. So think of something that you would like to see in reality that isn't in reality. Go into your imagination and stay with yourself until you have activated that inner vision and you can see it in imagination. Now, it looks different, because when you go into reality, you're seeing it, it's real. But if you go into imagination and you close your eyes, reality disappears and there's just this infinite spaciousness. It appears to be black. You might have those little specks or those little kind of dark spots, but essentially it appears different. But if you stay with yourself and hold the assumption that you are seeing clearly, because you are infinite vision, you are infinite sight, you are the invisible made visible, then those images of what you're intending to be there will start to become known to you in imagination. So sometimes if you're developing your inner vision, if that is not something that you have spent a lot of time focusing on developing, then you may need to sit with yourself for a while. Especially if you haven't been using imagination consciously on a daily basis, then yeah, it's like a muscle that atrophies. It may take some time to build up that muscle again. But the more you intend to see what you can't see in reality, the more you intend to see those things in imagination, those images will start to merge, they will start to come towards you. But you've got to be patient with yourself, give yourself a little time and space. And that means putting some time aside every day to go into your imagination, spend time in your imagination, sitting with yourself and seeing the invisible and really activating your inner vision. What would you like to see in your reality that you can't currently see in your reality? See it first in imagination, because here's the thing about reality. Reality is the reflection of imagination. Re is a word forming element, meaning back. Back from the original place. Al is another word forming element, meaning of, like, related to, pertaining to. Now you're starting to get a sense of what reality is. So a T, meaning condition or quality of being blank. Now you have an understanding of what reality is. Reality is the reflection of what you have made real in imagination first. Reality pertains to something. It is back from something. It looks like something. So what is that something? It's imagination. So reality is not the source of things. It's the reflection of what you are seeing in imagination. And what you're seeing in imagination is what's invisible. And to turn the invisible into the visible, you have to turn to the source of the invisibility, which is your imagination. Neville Goddard talked a lot about how at 3 p.m. he would pour himself a glass of whiskey and he'd sit on his chair and he would go into his imagination. He did that every single day. You want to be having a relationship with your imagination that is conscious, that is focused, that is intentional, and that is seeing what is not yet in your reality every single day. This is something that I have really started to embed into my daily routine. I do it in the morning and I do it in the afternoon, and then I just think before I go to sleep, I just think about something that I would like to experience and I just fall asleep to that. And I'm not spending a whole lot of time on these things, but I am very intentional of putting time aside every day to go into my imagination and spend time, invest in my imagination, because I know now without a doubt, that's Dora, I know without a doubt that it is my imagination that is causing my tomorrow. So what I'm doing with my imagination today is organizing what I'm going to see in my tomorrows. So I really encourage you to spend time in your imagination, invest time in your imagination every single day. Practice the sense of sight. Remember, invisibility is just visibility in your imagination, but everything is visible. It just requires awareness. You're either directing it towards reality or you're directing it towards imagination. So have fun with that. Practice your inner vision. Strengthen your inner vision. Practice seeing what is not in your reality. I'm sure I've made that point by now, so I'll leave it there. Please remember, you are the amazing creators of your reality. You are the superstars of your show. You are the producers, the writers, the directors, and the actors in your movie. What you assume to be true will be so. So assume the best for you. Assume the best for everyone in your movie too, and you will have an amazing life. And this is my wish, my vision, and my prayer for you, and for me too. Thank you so much for being here. Please do like this video if you enjoyed it, and leave a comment and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.